the Cub Broadcast.
Good morning, Cubs. Today is Monday, December 16th. I'm Simon Joyce.
And I'm Rivero Preston.
And this is the Cub Broadcast. It's exam week. Cubs, make sure you are looking at the yellow schedules that are hanging up around the building to see where your exams are located. It is better to do this before your exam days so you are not late to your finals. Exams are likely not in the room where your class is held each day. An extended time or other special circumstances have alternate locations that you need to be aware of for exams starting in 2 days. The schedules can be found in multiple locations, including the cafeteria, atrium, commons, staircases, outside the AAO office, and other heavily trafficked areas. It will be a busy few days to wrap up our first semester. After a much needed long break, the new year will bring on more exciting events at school. There are some great retreats for numerous grade levels. First up, in 2025, will be the Junior Discernment Retreat. These retreats are a great way for students to grow closer to their fellow Cubs, themselves, and their faith. You should check out any retreats available to you and follow up with campus ministry for more details or to sign up before the spaces are full. The deadline for the junior retreat is at the end of our first week back in January. So you should get the new info now and sign up before break.
Also happening when we return to school in 2025 will be our first Friday of the New Year Mass. This is set for January 10th at the end of our first week back for semester 2. We all need to be in Mass dress code for the entire day on Friday, January 10th. Any students who want to help with the Mass should see Mr. Dawson in the campus ministry and service office.
U of T's award-winning literary art magazine has a holiday message and information on how you can get published this spring. Any students in grades 7 through 12 who want poems, short stories, photography, or art to be included in this year's issue of Inkscape should upload your work to www.uofdjesuit.org/Inkscape by Friday, January 17th.
This year, Inkscape's theme is Cubs Around the World. Students are invited to create writing and art that reflects their personal heritage and culture to show off the diversity of the UDJ student body. Write a poem, story, or essay about your cultural heritage or global experiences. Create a work of art or take a photograph that captures your family history or is of international locations. Submit your themed photography, art, short story, or poem for your chance to get selected as a featured contributor in this spring publication. Again, the deadline is next month, January 17th, and it will be here quickly after the new year, so get working on your creative side. See Mr. Davidson for any questions.
The Campus Ministry and Service Office wants to thank the entire school community for their help in our annual Adopt a Family campaign. For more than 30 years, we have helped bring Christmas joy to families in need across Detroit, and this year we were able to support 23 more families. Thank you especially to the homeroom ambassadors who worked hard to make sure their homeroom was on track and worked to encourage all classrooms to participate. Thank you to the students who stepped up to get gifts, food, and household items for those families, especially the Men for Others who went above and beyond to make sure everything was covered.
Thank you to everyone who went out on our Adopt a Family delivery and were the face of this program, and our school to the families that we served. This project is an opportunity for you to grow in generosity. Many of you showed that you are true men for others. Finally, a special shout out to Mr. Monangeli's homeroom 2D, which narrowly won a pizza party over homerooms 4F and 3C by having their wish list filled out the fastest with 100% of their homeroom participating. Homeroom 2D, you will get a pizza party after Christmas break.
Before the week is over, you should recognize anyone around our school who exemplifies our school mission and values. Nominate a student from any grade level or someone from the faculty and staff at U of D who lives out being a man or woman for others. Scan the QR code on flyers like the one you see on screen now to access the nomination form. These are posted in homerooms and at the Iggy Award Showcase outside the SAO. It is quick and easy, so show some love for your fellow Cubs who deserve appreciation for their great work. Last month, the Iggy Award winners were Mrs. Kubiak, our school nurse, who exemplifies Ignatian spirituality. Miss Swift, more than a math teacher, she comforts and cares for students every day. From the high school, student Matt Gill was selected for his cura personalis in working with all students. An Academy student, Isaac Gourley, won the Iggy Award in November for providing extra help to students in the classroom and outside of it through Be Nice. Again, you can nominate members of our Cub community this week for the December Iggy Awards.
Now, a special video presentation from Miss Baker's Environmental Justice class. They researched zip code inequality and present some of the project findings in order to educate all of us on this important topic.
Hello everyone. Today we're going to present findings from a project on population sizes, income levels, and access to major resources in various cities. This is going to be an in-depth look into how the different groups either do or don't have access to certain services like parks, grocery stores, and food banks.
Well, for starters, how do we gather this information? Our research team studied cities with diverse incomes and populations. We weighed average household incomes against population densities and the number of accessible parks, grocery stores, and food banks each city had. There was much to sort through, but ultimately this information helped us identify patterns and inequalities that impact communities in real ways.
One interesting finding was that accessibility to parks and grocery stores varies conversely with income for a city. In other words, most cities with higher average household incomes, such as Birmingham, also have more parks and grocery stores per person. Lower income areas, in turn, such as parks in Detroit, represent a much higher ratio of population versus accessibility to stores and parks.
We also took the number of people in the city compared to the number of parks, grocery stores, food banks, and other such facilities. What we see is that often in higher income cities, those ratios are lower, meaning there are more resources available to each person. But in lower income cities, those ratios are higher, suggesting fewer resources are spread among the larger population.
We combined our findings for each city into what we call a composite score. The scores allowed us to see an overall picture of how different cities do in terms of access to needed resources. Given some of the income and populations, it is no wonder that some of the higher incomes with smaller populations yield better overall scores, while some of the lower incomes with dense populations present access challenges.
This project brings light to inequalities and the way resources are distributed and how key it would be for these gaps to be filled. So we hope that this data might be the start of a discussion in bringing equity around resources for all.
Thanks for listening. I hope you thought this was as interesting as we thought it was.
Thank you to all the Cubs involved in these environmental justice classes for their research and bringing it to the whole school community.
Lastly, freshman basketball practice is canceled for today. Again, there will be no practice for the freshman basketball team today.
If you missed any information or need details from today's announcements, visit the resource page on Mudge.
Thank you for watching today's Cub broadcast. I'm Rivero Preston.
And I'm Simon Joyce.
Make it a great day, Cubs.